What happened? Where are we?
Well, obviously the time vehicle was struck by something when we activated the time and space travel sequence.
What's up with this getup? What's up with my ears?
Well, okay, well, don't panic. I set the time machine so that if we ever travel to a different planet, it would give us appropriate attire.
So I'm supposed to be Mr. Spock?
Yeah, you look good.
I feel stupid.
I need to fix the uniform thing a little bit, but outside of that, the ears worked.
Welcome to One Shot Presents. I'm Brick.
I'm Tiger.
And what we do here is we review comics and action figures.
All right, so this is the game plan, Mr. Brick. I'm gonna stay here and try to fix the time vehicle. You head down that way and see if you can find some help.
Captain, there's nothing around here.
Well, but we have a better chance of getting rescued if you go searching for someone than if we just wait here.
That seems logical. I'll go check it out.
All right.
Nothing out here. I can't believe you sent me out. Anyway, for this week's comic book review, I've picked two comics, and it's the annual for Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Fantastic Four. It's written by Coletti and Pekaski. These are great reads. I've never heard of these two writers, and I wasn't suspect at all because I really like the Ultimate series. That's the reason I got back into comic books. So I do collect Ultimate Fantastic Four, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Ultimate X-Men. Anyway, they have this big event called the March on Ultimatum. I think all kinds of characters are going to die. There's all this mess up. You don't have to go pick up the other three titles to enjoy this new event that's about to happen. You can pick up these two annuals. It does set it up. Susan Storm is up to some bad business. I really think that you guys should check it out. It's something underground, something hidden by Marvel. It's a great read. Out of 5, I'm going to give it a 4. Can't believe he's had me walking out here in the middle of nowhere for 10 miles and stuff like that. And I don't even know what the... Who's this?
Give us 1 second. Come here, Francine.
So who's that?
Okay, dude, her name is Sofe Five. She's a local chick. I think I got her convinced to come back with us to the past. So just don't screw me on this one, Estrada, okay? Leave it to me.
Does she have a friend?
Well, you're married. What do you care if she's got a friend?
Not on the TV show.
Okay, as your captain, I'm commanding you to leave it alone. Just let me settle this.
At the very least, are you going to review a comic?
I'm going to review a comic, but why don't you just get out of here? I'll review the comic, but just leave us alone here for a minute.
The things I do.
All right, thank you. This week's graphic novel review is Red Rocket 7 by Michael Allred. Now, I'm a huge Madman fan, and you know, I have to admit, I was a little apprehensive to read Red Rocket 7 because I didn't want it to kind of taint my view of Madman, if that makes sense. Kind of like how Indiana Jones 4 ruined my, you know, feelings for the original Holy Trilogy. But Red Rocket 7 does not disappoint. As always, the artwork is fabulous, the colors are beautiful. What's really fun about it is the story of a guy who travels through, you know, all these different historical periods in rock and roll. He meets the Beatles, Elvis, David Bowie, and it's kind of like a walk down memory lane. For me, comics and rock and roll are my two favorite things, so it's a perfect meld of like my two great passions. And it's a pretty epic, you know, project. It had an album, a movie, and a comic book. And I think the only other person who's tried that was Pete Townsend, and I don't think that ever worked for him. And I think Mike Allred pulls it off, you know, in the 9s here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5. You guys need to go check it out.
I wonder if their planet is as strange as they are. I did find this in their time machine. Called The Umbrella Academy by Gerard and Gabriel. It's about 7 children that are miraculously born to women around the world who are born out of wedlock. They didn't even know they were pregnant. And they are collected by a rich inventor. What's really interesting about this story is that it begins as kind of a happy tale. You think it's just going to be these cute little kids fighting crime, but it flashes forward to them being older and kind of lost. The art is sadistic, completely graphic and morbid. At the same time, you fall in love with these characters. They are your depressive relative that flies into town and you don't get along with, but yet you love them. And that's kind of how I feel about these characters. I feel about this world, and I give it a 5 out of 5.
I'm Brick.
Sofe Five.
What is this?
She's an alien, okay? Okay, so good news, bad news about the time machine. Bad news is, busted. I can't fix it.
You can't fix the time machine?
Okay, but there's good news. We have a great interview with the cast and crew of Spaced for you guys to check out right now. All right, well, I have to admit, I'm pretty starstruck right now. We're here with the cast of Spaced. It's finally out in the States. Thank you for being on the show, everyone. Couple quick questions for you. Obviously, a bunch of fans in the States already, you know, and obviously in England and what have you, love the show and miss it. How much do you guys miss it? Like, do you miss playing Tim and Daisy? Do you miss directing these episodes?
It's great watching it. It's been great in the last sort of week to have the opportunity to watch it with audiences, because at the time, you know, it doesn't have a laugh track, the show, and we didn't really get a chance at the time to watch it in front of an audience. And been doing this mini tour. We did New York, LA, Comic-Con now. And to see it with a big crowd is just amazing. And I'm very, very proud of the show, and I never get tired of watching it. So it's cool.
Yeah, I miss playing Tim, and I miss not only playing opposite Jess, but I miss Jess and working with Jess because we had a good time. So, and those characters are kind of dear to us, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's been great being out here because, I mean, I sort of, Simon and Edgar always said, oh, you know, when they kind of come out and do stuff for Sean and Hot Fuzz, which obviously kind of created another fan base who then retrospectively kind of came back to Space, which I think is kind of really, you know, a lot to do with the fact that Space has become so popular in America. But they always just come back, and even before Shaun of the Dead had kind of become massive and Hot Fuzz had become massive, people had said, oh, Space is great, you know, and talked about it. And I was always quite kind of like, well, you know, I didn't quite believe it. But actually coming here and being here for a week and seeing how full all the screenings have been and how many people have kind of come and how much they seem to have loved it and connect with it, it's been great. It's been really overwhelming. It's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Let me ask you this too. Since the show is, you know, kind of Comic-Con's a good crowd for it, obviously, I think. It's very referencey towards comics. And, you know, playing a fanboy, for example, how hard is it for you guys to kind of stay grounded in that and kind of remember what it's like to be, you know, psychopathic about a series, for example, or a comic book? I mean, does that kind of get hard once Hot Fuzz comes out or once Shaun of the Dead comes out?
I don't think we haven't really changed as people since this has happened. I mean, you know, things have changed around us, but I still get psychopathic about stuff. I still get excited about the next Batman movie and still avidly watch, you know, Lost and Heroes and the kind of shows that would have appealed to Tim and still appeal to me. So, you know, I'd like to think at the center of it all, we're exactly the same, you know.
Any last words?
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
So we're stuck here?
Well, okay, dude, we'll sleep in the machine. This is an easy fix.
The three of us. Wait, where'd you come from?
I came from my hive. Would you like to come back with us?
To a hive. I don't want to lay an egg. Are you crazy?
Queen Mother would love you.
Of course you would.
Well, don't knock it till you try it, man. I mean, come on, this might be cool.
All right. Well, that's our show for this week. So we would like to thank our sponsors, Night Flight.
We'd also like to thank our brand new host, Sofe Five. And we'll see you cats next week.
Ha ha ha.